Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
And welcome to another installment of X-Amining 97. Let's go, or let's effing rogue edition.
Yes.
That is the only way you can describe this episode.
I completely agree. I mean, she's thieving all the guilds. It's Frey. She's
And
muted
her mic is
too.
off, too. So
What? No. How can I be thieving all the guilt? Okay, well, I guess. He's. Who am I doing?
Do Phil.
Okay. We are so together tonight. He's quoting Mr. Rogers. It's young Phil.
and of course, this handsome beard right here is
Running
the
a close shave from Bastion.
oh, nice. I was actually gonna say you're the best version of Nomad. It's Graveyard.
No.
Because Captain America with a beard, right? Nomad.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Don't take me back to that.
Oh God.
That was such a great entrance.
Oh my God, that introduction
It
in
was almost as good as seeing Fish live at the Sphere.
oh my God, you are really bringing it back to the 90s right now. I love it.
No, the Sphere. It just happened like last week. The Sphere
Fish was
in
at the
Vegas.
Sphere?
In Vegas, yeah. Apparently,
Really?
it was like an orgasmic experience.
Wow.
I'd imagine it would be.
Yeah. So obviously, neither one of you watch after midnight. So
Oh,
I did when it was on its original run
yeah,
with Hardwick.
not the new one, but
no,
no,
so
there was
I've sporadically watched it. I haven't, because the whole thing is because I don't have cable.
yeah.
So I don't watch things as they're happening like that. Otherwise, I would be watching Colbert and I would be watching After Midnight and everything like that. I've watched a couple episodes. It's funny, but for some reason I don't feel like it's as funny as when Hardwick was there. And it's not her; she's funny. I think it's their choice of comedians that they've been bringing on.
Well, the reference that I made was actually from a Reddit post, but Drew Carey did it on After Midnight.
Oh,
And it's really good. It's a Weird Al, Drew Carey, and Thomas Lennon are the panelists.
oh, I remember.
It's
I remember
really
that episode, and Thomas
Yeah.
Lennon was on so often. It was great.
No,
I
I'm talking about like it just happened. Like I think it happened.
They did
last
that
night.
original too.
Yeah,
What?
but like you have. There's the clip. I think it's on YouTube. Husby
Mhm.
showed it to me. Drew Carey talks about fish at the Sphere in Las Vegas. If you put that in there, you'll get it. And for those of you that have, thank you.
Yeah, I saw something recently from that show.
Mhm.
That was Flula Borg, and again, I love when Flula Borg was on the original show.
Yeah.
And it looked funny, so I was like, oh man, I gotta go watch more episodes of this. Just because it is on Paramount Plus, so like I can watch it like the next day. Again, there's so much that I'm like trying to catch up on that it's hard for me to watch the dailies.
Right. But you know who has cable? This episode.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So guys, let's jump into this. So kind of just talking about how this episode starts off and what everything's about. All the Easter eggs that are in this episode. Just kind of everything. This is essentially the aftermath of Genosha. What mutants remain are grieving over the loss of the many that died on Genosha to the hands of the master mold that made its way there and just kind of wrecked shop. And then of course we it's at the end of that episode we see Sinister, and he's Obviously the mastermind behind
Ish.
Well,
Oliver Trask.
Bolivar Trask. That's what I was trying to go for. He's the guy that's kind of puppeting Bolivar Trask,
Right.
which again, this episode ramps us up even more. So
Mhm.
like where we thought that Sinister was the big bad, and we find out he's bottom of the totem when it comes to
He's
guys
the
that
medium
prep there.
bad.
We have a new big bad to the X-Men franchise as this cartoon is concerned.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, like
Never been done before.
no, right. And I loved that we got to see him in this form,
Mm-hmm.
because like as he's coming up, I'm like, who is this? And then you start slowly seeing who it is, and I'm like, no, they didn't. And it's like, again,
They've got a lot of explaining to do.
yeah, the it's masterful the way that they've been writing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, because I haven't checked the I have the list of Easter eggs here, but I haven't gone far enough down in the line. I gotta ask you specifically because I thought of you, Grave. Was there a flash of specifically of somebody that you said was going to show up in this, or was that just Bastion?
I think it's just Bastion. It's for anyone that hasn't caught up from what we discussed from last week and the Deadpool trailer, I still feel this is Cassandra Nova overall.
Oh yeah, I mean that could be a thing. What I was saying is when Rogue grabs Gyrick, right, and you see the flash of the characters that are like behind him.
Mm-hmm.
One of those for a second looked like it might have been Apocalypse.
Oh,
Probably. I mean, it has to be, because Sinister's never been one to kill mutants. He's always wanted their genetics to create the ultimate thing. So what would he gain from killing mutants? Only Apocalypse gains from that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it'd be interesting because I'm not sure Apocalypse has ever fought Sentinels in the cartoon.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he has. That's a really good that's a really good comment. I approve of that.
And this kind of goes into what I discussed last week, and as we all know, as I told you guys earlier today, somebody clearly listened to me last night and talked about this being a Nexus point.
I know.
Right?
Oh yeah, it's definitely that. So much happens in this episode. So before we jump into the Easter eggs themselves, what were your guys' thoughts on the episode?
I had lots of thoughts.
Well, initial thoughts.
Okay.
We'll go with initial thoughts because we are going to go over a lot of that stuff. So, like, what were your initial thoughts on this episode?
I was intrigued, then shocked, then I got a little warm fuzzy, then I was shocked again, and then I was really shocked, and then I had to go look something up because I wasn't really familiar with a character, and then basically I knew the character, but I wanted to know exactly what line they were going through, like how they were getting us to this character. And then I said Excalibur. So those were my initial thoughts.
Okay.
In order from when I felt them. You weren't expecting that, were you?
No. Graveyard, what were your thoughts?
It's 3 simple words. Let's fucking Rogue.
No, that's exactly it, because like she was completely fucking unhinged in this episode, and I'm all for it. But then there's also moments that she has where she completely breaks down, and that's where in our group chat I said that this season has been emotionally taxing,
Mhm.
right? Because there's a scene where she just breaks down and starts crying, and I'm just like, okay, this is breaking me right now. You know, like her kind of the way she's dealing with her emotions, but then also, you know, just kind of exuding energy, like negative, angry energy. And you've just in the cartoon, as in the comics, we've seen her do this, but like in the cartoon, we've never seen her lose control like this.
No, not on purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah, not on purpose.
yeah, and
She's
that's why,
done it, but not on purpose.
and that's why I had to say, in the cartoon, we haven't seen her lose control. In the comics, we've seen her lose control many times.
I mean,
Right.
she's lost control, like I said, in the cartoon because she's being brainwashed and she's being, you know, tricked by Mystique, her adoptive mother.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is obviously hinted at as well, saying that actually confirming that they're adoptive
Brothers and
siblings.
sisters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, she's adopted, but he's
They're-
not.
Yeah, they're half siblings,
Yeah.
like canonically.
Yeah.
For
Well,
those,
yeah. But I said in the cartoon they never officially stated it.
right. So what he's referring to specifically, for those of you who are like me and will watch these kind of shows without watching the episode, canonically, Rogue and Nightcrawler are half siblings,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and they confirmed it in the cartoon in this episode, specifically with Kurt saying, you know, like calling him his half sister.
Right.
Mhm. He
And
said
we-
adopted sister.
Yeah.
Adopted.
And we got finally verbal confirmation of another relationship. Hence, Bright Eyes.
Oh yes. They confirmed it in the cartoon. Again, we all know all
Right.
this right here, but like
They realized it. They
Yeah.
realized it.
oh yeah, and also the reason for Bright Eyes, right? Like they you know, canonically said, you know, the reason they call him Bright Eyes. Episode, what was it? Episode 5, season 1.
I don't remember the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. I know
When Cable shows up, it might have been season 2 actually.
Season 2. Season 1 was Bishop. Season 2 was
That's
Cable.
right. So
Yeah.
it's like episode 5, season 2. When Cable shows up, they call him Bright Eyes.
Mhm.
So what that was it was a callback to an earlier season. You know,
Okay.
it's almost like we forget that this is a continuation of the original cartoon, because they reference moments from the original cartoon multiple times along in the show.
Yeah. Well, and that kind of goes into our first Easter egg, that if you didn't watch the cartoon, you're going to go, who are these people at
Yeah.
Gambit's funeral?
Yeah, Thieves
Yeah.
Guild.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's
Well, there
one
was-
episode where he goes back and has to save his brother.
Right.
That was a good episode. That was actually, I really liked that. In the original series, I really liked that
Mhm.
episode. But and they merged didn't they merge the guilds, the Assassin and Thieves Guild, by the end
Yes.
of it? So yeah, so it was like both of them were
Yeah.
there. So
Because it wasn't just his brother Bobby and other members of the Thieves Guild. I'm forgetting her name.
Belladonna.
Belladonna. Well, no, Belladonna is the she was a member of the Thieves Guild. It's the other girl that was that has the black and white hair.
Oh,
Is she the one that can turn into mist?
Oh yeah, she
Yeah.
is. She's
Yeah.
well.
But she
Yeah.
was a part of the Assassin's Guild. So like
Yes.
to show them all together right there was kind of a cool nod.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I thought it was interesting. I liked that they all changed clothes
Yeah.
and weren't in their actual outfits.
Right.
What?
I thought that was good. You know, granted,
Well-
they just repainted most of their outfits because
You know,
Jubilee's outfit looked exactly the same except in black.
In fairness, so they don't have Storm's secondary mutation, which I thought of today, is she has the ability to change clothes at whim.
We know this. We know this.
'Cause she just calls upon the elements. Elements, change my clothes.
And boom, new outfit.
Yep.
She went from a white outfit to a black outfit.
Yep.
And she did that in the opening scene, Night of the Sentinels. She's at the shopping mall and she transforms, her clothes change.
Yeah.
Rogue still wears the same outfit, fighting and kicking ass. Storm changes clothes.
Yes.
Right. Oh God, I have that comic book, by the way. when they redid that first episode in comic book form, I have it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
But the next Easter egg, I would never have noticed.
The Kamen Rider cake.
There's only one Kamen Rider I know, and that was after Big Bad Beetleborgs in the 90s.
Yep.
Right.
The Masked Rider.
Well, I mean, yeah. No, here's the thing. Like when I was watching it with Husby, because we watched the Wednesday shows at his lunch, and so yeah. So he was just like, "That was so well done." That's the only thing he said. And I thought for sure of anyone, he would know something like that because he's all about anime. So, but yeah, I was like, yeah, that was really cool. So I didn't even know it was Kamen Rider style.
No idea. So I know it's Ghostbusters Proton Streams, not Kamen Rider.
Right? I thought you would just say, "Oh, this reminded me of the real Ghostbusters episode."
Lulu Renu in the chat on Instagram saying number one cheers. But he said I just realized Storm's uniform has always been black, not white.
Yeah. Well, no, but she had the white outfit for a while when she was the leader.
Mm-hmm.
But in the cartoons, she always had the white outfit, and in the comics, she typically had the black outfit.
Yeah, and she had she's had a lot of different outfits, not just the ones we've seen on the cartoon. She has had many different outfits.
Mm-hmm.
She even had a X-Men style outfit too.
She did.
That she never wears.
Yeah, right.
Now, we have to talk about the Red Hulk of it all.
Oh God. No, 100%.
I was so disappointed that he didn't turn into Red Hulk. I was so disappointed.
But it's the whole thing is they made a lot of those references that we kind of were speculating on for the last couple of episodes. You know, are they going to be building that bigger universe, right? Mm-hmm. And this is our first time seeing General Ross in cartoon form. Mm-hmm. But another character that we're going to talk about here in a little bit has he featured all through season 5 of Spider-Man. I think he was on one episode in the X-Men animated series at one point. Yeah. You know, and they made references in the Spider-Man cartoon to the Avengers and things like that. But then also the Hulk reference, right? Mm-hmm. Like Ross specifically says this bunker was built to withstand the Hulk.
Yeah.
And then Rogue just breaks through it like it's nothing. And it's I love her line was, my papa always told me it's easier to break into a prison than to get out of one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to ask this though, because we do see Captain America once in the flashback to World War II with Wolverine,
right?
In the poorly drawn version of season 5. Now Captain America did appear on multiple episodes because Red Skull and the old Warriors storyline, the Spider-Man series, where he had the people that had the same powers, they had the relics, they had to do, and they were essentially the Winter Soldiers,
right,
of that universe. And Spider-Man really was the tie-in for everything else, right? It was barely anything else on an X-Men. But do you think this is the same Thunderbolt Ross from the Incredible Hulk 90s cartoon?
Probably.
Right.
I would say that the 90s stuff is probably its own.
It's canon.
Yeah, well, it's its own world. It's its own part of the multiverse kind of thing. That's kind of the way I'm thinking of it, just so I can not scream into the void all the time because they're tired of it. So
I have entire conversations there.
Yeah, I know. You do. You just had one.
I did.
Right before this.
Now, do you think Thunderbolt Ross looked just spot on of William Hurt in the MCU?
I thought he had a William Hurt vibe, and I liked it, and I think that's cool. And also, I think it's very 90s because his mustache is very 90s.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, absolutely, 100% rest in peace. You know, William Hurt.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely did a good honor to William Hurt in making Thunderbolt Ross's animated version looked just like him.
Mm-hmm. And kind of tie into the Hulk world, we did get another Hulk tie-in. The diet soda.
The Pingo,
yeah.
I saw the diet Pingo.
Yeah,
I thought that was great. Yeah, that was a cool little thing, and that Morph's just all woo, I'm still drinking it, slurp slurp in the elevator, which reminded me of Quicksilver in the X-Men when they save Magneto.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that, like, that scene where he's like tasting the stuff. I was like, that's very, which is funny because later he turns into Quicksilver. So
yeah, I was gonna say he turned into Quicksilver later on in the episode.
And Husby was like, when did Quicksilver get there? And I was like, that's more. Like immediately, that's more.
Right.
Now, do you think they had these characters in preparation for Captain America: Brave New World?
It's possible. I also think that it's just something that's keying into the storyline.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's directly tying into Captain America: Brave New World. It would be cool if they did like reference something like that, but I don't think that they are.
Well, because last time we saw that drink, the leader got made, and he is going to be in Captain America: Brave New World.
I think that they're trying to have us remember those things because they may come up in Captain, or to just reintroduce us to those characters, to like those different references, because we might see them again. So, I mean, honestly, that absolutely could be it, because it just seems like things are just a little too, like, they're like, well, there is a Captain America movie coming out. Maybe we'll do we'll just have Cap show up, because anybody could have shown up.
Right. So Lou Renu in Instagram. That's it's actually Luis Rivera.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Luis.
Hey, Luis.
And he said, because we were talking, he was saying, "Where's James?" I told him that we typically doesn't do these X-Men breakdowns with us, unfortunately. But he said he did make an appearance of us in Team Colossus #5. It's not very accurate.
Cool.
He said it's not very accurate, but it's supposed to be young versions of me and James.
Oh.
I love it. So moving on to the kind of like the Genosha cleanup, everything that's going on there. We see a couple of characters here. So we see Amelia Vaught.
Okay, you guys have to like remind me who she is, because like I was like, I don't know. She seems familiar.
So she's a member of the Acolytes,
which then ties into Corsair, which ties into Apocalypse.
Right.
Okay.
She's also
Apocalypse horse to death now.
She's also
4 horsemen, all right?
Okay, no, as soon as you said Acolyte, I totally know who she is now.
Yeah.
I was just like, why is she important? But now I understand.
Right. Yeah. I mean, she's talking with Beast. She's helping with the fallout with Genosha, but then we also see Trish Tilby. Trying
to get herself some blue fur.
It's exactly what I was gonna do.
She's got to get her rabies shots.
They're her and Beast are having their argument. Beast kind of like blows her off a little bit and is just like, you're just here for your story or whatever. But they're kind of you have that kind of like flirtatious thing going on that's referencing their relationship within the X-Men comics.
I felt that was a little atypical of Beast. He's not normally that person.
He's not usually that emotional.
Yeah, he's really not. His defense mechanism is usually humor. And so to see him get that upset, I was like, wow. I didn't know that he and Gambit were so close, that he was so upset. But a lot of people died that day. A lot of people died.
I think it's more than just Gambit. I think Gambit is one piece to the puzzle, but I mean, you also, to their knowledge, because we find out later in the episode, but to their knowledge, he thinks that they just lost Magneto. He thinks that they've lost so many people that they've interacted with over the course of so many years of everything that they've been doing. So, as far as Beast knows, it was, a massive terrorist attack on Genosha, and so many of his friends died that I think he's getting to the point he's at the point where he's just kind of breaking a little bit, because he's like, I've like in the last couple of months, I've lost so many people that I love. And it's insane to know that that's kind of what's going on with him.
Right. Normally he'd quote something, Macbeth once said in Shakespeare's work, "Bitch, get out of here."
Back that bitch up. That was Midsummer Night's Dream, actually. That they said that in.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Hamlet was, listen, motherfucker.
Whatever you want. I don't want anything to do with the lady.
Now, do you think
yes,
Rogue Unhinged
a lot
could Thanos Captain America's shield?
She might be able to. I mean, she kind of she picked up that shield and tossed it into a mountain.
Yeah.
And now Cap has to go and like find it.
Could she have punched a hole through it, do you think?
I don't know, because I mean,
I don't think she could have.
You got to remember, she is
Captain Marvel.
She's Captain Marvel on steroids, because she's technically stronger than Captain Marvel.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, and angrier.
Oh, right now she is very much angrier than Captain Marvel. Did you guys know that Josh Keaton, who played Steve in What If, is playing Steve in this?
Yes, I did. I was gonna mention that.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. I'm saying that a lot. I should stop saying that.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel about another secret organization being OZT kind of being behind some of these things? We have FOH, we have OZT, we have Hydra.
You know me. I'm OZT.
Serpent Society coming up. Do we need another secret organization with OZT?
Well, I mean, it's Operation Zero Tolerance. So it's not like it's I think that is pretty integral to where we're going.
Right. So. Especially with bringing in Bastion, like it has to be. And obviously this leads into the last two episodes, right? Because the last two episodes are
3 episodes.
The last 3 episodes, are Zero Tolerance. And I mean, it makes sense that you're going to get into Operation Zero Tolerance. You're going to get into Bastion, who is a child of 2 times, right? Like he's such a weird character and concept, but I mean, essentially he's a hybrid of Master Mold and the Nimrod.
He's a mutant.
Yeah.
We have obviously we'll get into that, but yeah, I mean, how do you feel about Gyrick being done dirty the way he was?
Screw him. I don't care about Gyrick. I don't care about Trask.
Do you think
assholes?
Do you think it was ballsy to kill him the way they did?
Oh, I mean, good riddance to Gyrick. Gyrick's a fucking dirtbag. The way that they did it, I thought it was cool that when Bastion comes in the room, Purple People Eater comes on.
Yes,
so that he's arrived, and then when he walks away, it goes back to classical music.
Yeah. No, I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, is Rogue worthy? Could she pick up Mjolnir?
She can. She can.
I know she can. That's what I was saying. Like, she could have the shield and Mjolnir.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Ant-Man's head. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, canonically, she can pick up the hammer. She's done it more than one. She pissed off Thor in one comic when she went and picked it up and was like, "What are you doing?
You shouldn't be able to do that." And she just said, "I'm an elevator, yo."
Word for word, exactly what she said in the comic.
Exactly.
An elevator, yo.
I imagine her saying something. Don't look like a cross-bitten rattlesnake on a hot summer day.
Sugar.
Sugar.
You got to end it with the sugar every time.
Right.
So how about your boy Strong Guy showing up again?
I feel
he was so happy.
I feel Strong Guy and Blob, their only scenes really have been in the cartoon is lifting up girders and Genosha, because Blob picked up the girder again. It's like the same scene that we had the first time in Slave Island was him picking up a girder, and there he is picking up a girder again.
Yeah, I just like that they're showing us like characters that we love that may not be integral to the story, but they're like, hey, they live here, they live in this world, they're here.
I love the interactions. Like, you know, you're just having interactions with all these different characters. I mean, they've made a point of this season of the X-Men is a lot more global than previous seasons have been.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like you're getting to see a lot of these other factions from around the world. You know, to include, you know, more of X-Force, X Factor.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, a couple of X-Force characters have shown up and things like that. And then
Excalibur,
yeah. You know, so like it's pretty cool that we're getting to see, you know, more of these international characters.
Is this lean, as we hypothesized last week, going into the different team colors, the blue and gold and X-Force and Excalibur and X Factor? Are we seeing after the season that split up happening? We're going to follow different teams in the X-Men world.
We might,
yeah,
because it kind of seems like they're going that. Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're going that route.
Because I face it, Cyclops is to lose his shit when Xavier comes back in the next 3 episodes.
Oh yeah,
and he's leaving. I guarantee it.
Because he's going to be pissed that he's going to think that Xavier lied to them, and it's like, well, no, like
something he said in the episode, like he's starting to think of Magneto was right.
Yeah.
And he says that. And so I was like, oh, that's how they're going to have that fracture.
Right.
Where, you know, Cyclops is going to be like, you left, Magneto stayed, and he paid for it. So I'm going to go with him. You do what you need to do. And Storm's going to stay with the professor. And that'll, you know, they'll pick teams.
Right. And in episode 10, you know, we get that reveal that Magneto's still alive. So
not episode 10.
You think it'll be sooner than that?
Nah, okay, they've got a lot of ground to cover before that. I don't know if we'll actually know that Magneto's alive this season. It may be a cliffhanger.
Well, I mean, because we know he's alive now. Because
right, but like that the X-Men don't know.
Right. Because I say episode 10 because that'll be, you know, kind of like that redeeming factor. But then at the same time, Scott's gonna already be so far gone that he's not gonna want to come back. Scott is a prideful motherfucker.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah.
I guess the question is, whatever we theorize has happened with Magneto, will they find that out, or will we know and they don't going into season 2?
I think they won't find out. They won't discover it until season 2.
Gotcha.
I don't know, because I don't know how fast they're going to go with this. I mean, are we going to go through Onslaught? Because that seems like that's where they're going. Because they've got Magneto, and they were showing Charles Xavier and him being alive, and they need both of them to create Onslaught. And then, so we may not get a real resolution to this until season 2.
Oh, I think Onslaught's the big bad of season 2.
That would be amazing. I would.
That's how the teams they're going to split up into the teams, and Onslaught's going to bring all the team together, and they're going to have their endgame moment.
Okay, no, I like that. I think that's a good. See, that was my thing. Is like, how fast are they going to do this? Like, how fast are they going to do the whole Onslaught and the, they got to talk about the Siege Perilous. There's so much they've got to go through. And Siege Perilous gets us to Excalibur, because they talked about that all the freaking time in Excalibur. So, in the comic book.
Yeah, and obviously, as we know, my prediction of the best storyline of this being the Nexus event in Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be true when we find out. It's all leading to that.
Yeah.
And again, like, I mean, and it's not hard to bring this in, but I mean, like, they would have to kind of elaborate on the Shadow Realm,
Yeah.
If you're going to do it.
We haven't seen Shadow King in a very long time.
Right.
and I think we're going there. I really like it. My mutant sense is tingling, and I think I think we're gonna get some Shadow King. I don't know if it'll be this season, but I think it's coming. I really think it's coming.
I don't think it'll be this season. It'll, if anything, once they resolve this storyline, it'll be like the beginning, like early next season.
Yeah.
You
Maybe. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
I want to say this though. They've brought a lot of stuff into 97 that were in the other X-Men movies as well. Like we're in the X-Men movies.
Mhm.
And just kind of, it's almost like they're doing like what Filoni did for the prequels for Star Wars. It's like they're kind of bridging hey, this is how this happened. This is how this happened. You know, you just didn't see it, like with Emma Frost and her diamond form.
Her second mutation.
Yeah. So getting that diamond form Emma Frost, which kind of is like the catalyst of her change. Like she kind of goes from a bad guy to, she becomes the headmaster.
Yeah.
And I wonder about that. Like I wonder if, her going into her diamond form and kind of like, the changes that she's going into. She's already a really powerful telepath, and then having the diamond form, like, is this kind of like a hint that, once she recovers, that she turns that new leaf and she becomes the new headmaster of Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters.
I think so. I think it's related to Kitty Cat Beast as well, right? I think we're gonna start seeing more second mutations. We're starting getting second mutations. We're getting Omega level mutants, which has not been a thing at this point in time in history of the comics. And they're bridging the new into the old.
Right.
I agree. But I also wonder if maybe it's that she can't control it quite well and she has to go to Beast to kind of help her figure it out. And then that's when she comes into the fold of the X-Men, and then she becomes the headmaster, like, or maybe the, substitute headmaster while Xavier's off, having bird sex.
Is the Hellfire Club all dead except for her now?
Well, yeah, I mean, Sebastian Shaw's gone.
I think that all Hellfire is dead except for her, so she has no place to go.
Yeah. Selena.
Oh, yeah.
Celine's gone too. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's an interesting thing. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I liked it. She didn't really look that diamond-y. I thought she looked a little bit more Colossus-like.
Yeah.
Colossus.
Because they kind of just made her just like silver, right? Yeah. She actually looks, I wouldn't even say she looks like Colossus. She looks more like Silver Surfer.
Yeah, or Platinum from Metal Man in DC Comics.
Yeah.
Well, she looks better than the other versions of her diamond skin that we have seen in the live action movies.
True.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. It's hard. Yeah. Diamonds are hard to like make look good on human form.
Yeah. Or if she had ice power, she'd look like a snowman.
Right, exactly.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes, I absolutely do. I can't.
Oh God! All right, so let's move into Bastion. So Bastion, this is insane. Seeing Bastion come into this, right?
Absolutely.
Born of Nimrod and the Master Mold.
Mm-hmm.
God, he kind of just jumped in, right? And you're just not like kind of expecting that, because you see the Nimrod Sentinels, like it immediately go. Essentially, they're looking for, oh God, why am I always forgetting his name? Bolivar Trask. Right?
Yes.
They're looking for Bolivar Trask. Yes. And they get a hint that, get the diet soda, because they never run out of diet soda, right? And they get the diet Pingo Dolce, right? Which I thought was actually a funny little Easter egg when they're going down the elevator and Morph is just drinking it.
He's just slurping it. That's what made me think of the Quicksilver thing. Because anyway, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, you're not the only one that thought that, because he does transform into Quicksilver because of that has to be an obvious tie. It has to be.
Right. You know, so like he's drinking the soda. They get into the room and they see all the Nimrod sentinels, and they're just like, what is this? What the hell's going on? Right. And then the reference to Frey's name right now, right? I am become death. They get there and Trask is like, I'm sure the way Trask went about it was like it was on purpose. He just wanted to make it look like it was sympathy to get them to, like, you know, kind of like drop their defenses.
Right.
Yeah.
Knowing him, he knew he was going to become a Nimrod. Like he knew that was going to happen once he died.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I
think he's a sleeper sentinel.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that was the nod, was that sleeper sentinels are out there, and that may be why they split. I mean, that could be another reason they split into two groups, is because they, you know, you've got one group that is tracking down the sleeper sentinels, and then you've got one group that's going after Bastion. I mean, it could be that. Like, there are many ways they could do it, but yeah, I definitely was shocked when I saw Bastion and his little chin pubes.
Right. and I thought it was hilarious that when they walk in the room, immediately Morph goes, "Look at this poor man's Oppenheimer."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was Wish and Teemo didn't exist, since they can't say it.
It was cool. It was unexpected. I don't think any of us had that on our bingo card for.
No.
Oh,
X-Men
I did not have someone going, you know what? Boom. Rogue fucking let go.
You know what? She let go. I like how they were like, no, she'll kill someone. She will do it. She's the Wonder Woman of the X-Men. She's not afraid to snap somebody's neck. And it just happened to work out in her favor, because she didn't kill Gyrick, and she didn't kill Trask, because Trask didn't die. He became a fucking Sentinel. So
technically she did kill him, because he had to die to become the sleeper, the Sentinel.
He has two operating systems. He went to sleep and booted up into the other one.
Right.
Right.
Because you hear the thud. She drops him off the building, and you hear the thud.
Screams and the thud. I know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, technically,
he's still in. He's still in.
Get away with it.
Yeah. You know, but then, he becomes the Nimrod, and that is just an intense fight. And oh my God, the way that every time that he like knocks somebody off or knocks somebody out was mutant. Mutant neutralized.
Yeah, mutant threat neutralized. Yeah, it was like.
Go ahead.
No, I was just like sighing because it was a lot.
I after watching the episode and doing my thoughts for this, is I heard some people saying, I can't believe they killed all those X-Men, when you clearly see them back up and standing.
Yeah, they're all still alive.
Yeah. You don't think Cyclops would have lost it if Jean Grey died right there?
I think at this point he might be a little numb to that, because I mean, before that all happened, she was like, "Oh, what do you mean? We've lost so many people. What about the time, you know,
I'm dead. I'm alive.
What about when I died here? What about when I died here?" I mean,
I think everybody forgets that this is based on a comic book where people die all the time. Just the question is, how many of these characters die and stay dead?
That's my thing. Is how is Gambit going to stay dead?
He won't. He's not going to. 100%. He's coming back. What's the name of his second character? I'm trying to remember. He's like a New Orleans god. I'm trying to remember what the name is.
I don't remember.
I can't. Yeah, I don't remember the name, but I know what you're talking.
He's like a trickster, right? But he's like he comes back as like a Creole god.
Yeah.
Right.
Or this just ties into the next animated show, Marvel Zombies.
Right.
Right.
Either it's either he's going to do that, or at the end of the show, because we've been seeing Cable, right? Like Cable goes back, changes the past, and nobody died.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hands on happening. It's a Nexus event that was not meant to happen. Hence Cassandra Nova in the Void.
Right.
I'm looking the Gambit thing up, so.
Okay.
But also, like the appearance of the Nimrods, like, is further proof that they're gonna bring back time. Time's gonna come back, because like part of the reason that Cable comes back is to stop the creation of the Nimrods.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Apocalypse.
Yeah, well, I mean, in other
fails every time at it, but yes,
because you got to remember, Cable comes back how many times in different storylines to stop different events from happening. Because every time he goes back to his time, some new threat comes and threatens his timeline, and he has to go back in time again.
Do you ever think he eats bad sushi and goes back a day and goes, no, don't do that. You'll regret it.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
sure
that's exactly it.
I would.
I'm sure he was just like, oh, I shat my brains out. Let me just go back in the past and tell my son not to eat that.
So, I mean, that's kind of for most part. Yeah, we have some companies that obviously show up in the MCU. Madrigal is in there. Obviously, that's where Trask is. Emotionally beat wise, we have to talk about the part that's not an Easter egg, is the Sunspot portion.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
That felt very, very reminiscent of Bobby Drake in X2.
Yes.
Yeah, it did.
It does. There are ups and downs in that scene, right? Because you're kind of you almost feel a sense of relief when he tells his mom, and she's like completely accepting of it.
Our four houses didn't burn down for no reason.
Yeah,
I love that.
He's just like, yeah, like she's like, no, me and your father figured when you were ready to tell us, you'll tell us. And I love that. I love that his parents were very accepting of it, but at the same time, the down in that moment is, well, we have to keep this covered up because we can't, shareholders can never find out about this, otherwise we'll be ruined. And it's like, you just ruined a perfect moment, you asshole.
Yeah.
But
and then she's like, who wants this spritzer? It's like, what?
But I think that's a perfect allegory for what X-Men allegory is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's for different rights. And it's like, yeah, we know, we understand. Don't tell anyone, though. We're proud of you, but you still can't tell the general public.
Right.
And I think that will come into play in the future season.
Yeah.
Or maybe this one, when he is going to use his powers and it's going to be televised.
Either that, or I was thinking that, the compromise is she's going to help him with his sunspot suit. And that's how they cover it up, is that, as long as you keep a secret identity and you don't connect yourself back with us as far as you being a mutant, then everything's okay. That's a thought that came to my head. That could be what they do, but that's also giving his mom the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that too, though. I was like, well, this is how he gets his sunspot costume. This is like, so like, he can, and it may be like, because we've only ever seen him really do it with his hand. Maybe he realizes he can do it with his whole body.
Right.
Because he actually turns that dark color, his whole body, and that is how they figure it out. But we've really only seen him do it with one hand or the other. He hasn't really ever done the whole body.
Right.
So,
will he fight a nightmare bear?
Oh God, that would be amazing. I don't think they're gonna jump into the nightmare bears just yet, or the nightmare bear just yet.
They need to.
I think eventually they will, so that way they can save the horrendous crap fest that was New Mutants. you know, I think that they'll eventually do that because it is a good storyline.
Mm-hmm. Now, how do you feel? Both of you feel emotionally that a certain goddess of weather was not at a funeral.
Well, she may not know about it.
Right.
She has to know.
Maybe
there's no way that she wouldn't be there. I feel
there's probably an explanation that they just haven't gotten to. She may have been off somewhere else doing something, you know,
riding wild horses. I understand.
Yeah, riding wild horses, or you know, banging a wild forge. But you know, I mean, obviously, you know, we get. I talked about it earlier. The emotional beat of Rogue not being at the funeral and Jubilee going nuts about like she loved him. Why wasn't she here? And was it Beast that explained to her like she's going through her own shit?
He lost 2 people.
Yeah. You know,
she
did.
Okay, so notable aliases for Gambit: Le Diable Blanc, Robert Lord, Death, and the Raging Cajun. That's all it said.
I think
so. I don't know.
No, Death is his horseman one, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, do we get Gambit as a horseman of Apocalypse?
We keep bringing up the Apocalypse, and it's like, oh my god, that actually would be dope to actually see him come back as one of the horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Yeah, it would be.
I want the proper horsemen of the Apocalypse because the ones we got in the movie were fucking trash, and I did not want that. That movie was garbage to begin with, but I mean, like, you know.
Well, we also got garbage ones in the cartoon with just 4 metal robots on horses too.
That was. Maybe they'll redo it. Like maybe we'll get another.
Right.
I think we are. I think we're going to. We have to. I think we're going to get something else. But
all right, so that means we're going to have Psylocke, Gambit, Storm as 3, and then Wolverine as a 4 horsemen.
Yeah,
and then of course Archangel, but
he's already transformed. He can't transform anymore.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways. Still, they've left it open so much, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna get Onslaught's next. We're doing it's Operation Zero Tolerance, just like right in there, and then I think we're gonna get the 2. I think you're right. We're gonna get the 2 X-Men things. I think we're gonna get Excalibur. Because I think that's why Nightcrawler's in there and Siege Perilous is in there. They're going that way. So I don't know if it'll be until I think it might be till season 3, but I know. I mean, they're going that way.
Right.
So one thing I wanted to talk about though was how this, especially like this first season, but this episode highlighted it again, was that the teamwork aspect. Like, Scott was like, they're all basically falling out of this building. And, Scott's like, Jean, take care of the building. I'll take care of the debris. And like, and then you've got Wolverine with his claw and then you got the others jumping down. They all were in a team mentality. And I liked that because I think that's what was missing in the original. Was that they weren't as team. They weren't a team. They were just like individuals fighting together.
It's probably hard to draw them on top of each other, quite honestly.
Yeah. So
I like it though. Yeah,
I do too.
Absolutely. So, guys, speaking of how much you like it, give me your ratings, guys. So, Frey, what was your rating on the episode overall?
I'm gonna give this one 9. Jean Grey outlined in light blue. 9 Jean Greys outlined in blue. Out of 10 Magneto being shaved by Bastions.
It was such a creepy moment.
It was.
Sweeney toddying up, yeah.
Graveyard, what's your rating, sir?
8.5 one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eaters.
Oh, I love it.
Out of 10 secondary mutations.
Ooh.
I have a theory
Yeah.
about that I want to discuss before we close the show, but let's get your rating.
Okay. I'm going with 9 raging rogues out of 10 Nimrod sentinels scaring the living crap out of everybody.
Yeah.
Fucking humanoid sentinel robots.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, you ready for the theory?
Yeah,
Crazy
what's your theory?
My crazy theory, if you
Your
will.
crazy theory of the day.
Because we were introduced to second mutations, we know someone that mentioned that, hey, the villains never were able to do this. And Bastion goes, well, we have evolved. And Sinister goes, they will evolve too. And I think they're going to go, when they realize how bad Bastion is, that Sinister is going to help kickstart the secondary mutations.
yeah.
Oh.
Because he talked about evolving and that they will evolve. And that is their evolution.
Which is Sinister's entire obsession
Uh-huh.
is evolution. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that he and Beast will come to some sort of understanding, and that's how they'll get it done?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think so.
Because Beast is one that was called in for Spider-Man when the whole mutant saga was happening in Spider-Man. He was the expert that helped transform the Kingpin guy that turned into the creature. So he is that knowledgeable, which then also ties into the movies, which ties into how our favorite pool of all was transformed, all based off of their work of Sinister and Beast.
Yeah.
I mean, technically Deadpool is a product of Mr. Sinister, so
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
mhm.
And
He's a mutate that
we saw the collars, like Magneto with the collar on. So
Yeah,
they're
that's
still
right.
using Forge's technology. So that's going to bring Forge into it even more, that he doesn't want his technology used that way anymore. So
Right, because Bastion was the third picture, the person we didn't see in the picture with him.
yeah.
That's good theory, man.
Yeah. No, I think it's good. I like it. It's crazy enough for me.
Any other theories that we have going into next week?
Go on.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the Secretary of State's clearly Mystique because she wasn't there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As I said that, I called it. I definitely think we're gonna find that out. I don't know if I think maybe Rogue and Nightcrawler will find it out. I don't know if the whole world will know.
Yeah.
I think it may just be one of those where, she's just, missing in action or whatever. Or declared dead. One of the two. But yeah, it's just such a mess in Genosha right now. I did love that where they had the little like makeshift memorial had Magneto and Charles's head on there. Yeah. And I was like, well, Charles is still alive. And I was like, is Magneto still alive? And then he was. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then, yeah.
He was just a little scruffy.
Right.
And Bastion had to give him a nice little shave.
That's
very sensually too.
Yeah.
I just, it's banana boat bonkers. It's just getting banana boat bonkers in here. And I think that that's fantastic. I can't wait. I do love that the stakes are higher in this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like. And yeah, kids need to watch the original. Don't watch this stuff, kids. You have to be this tall to ride this ride.
Well, but you, young Phil, any theories?
Oh man, I don't know. We've kind of been just naming off theories the entire time here. Like, some of the ideas being that, like I think Cable is going to play a big role into changing the timeline enough to where all the people that have died are going to come back. and it's not one of those things where it like cheapens their deaths, but I mean it's more one of those things where the way that they've built this season, getting those characters back is going to be a relief.
I think we're going to find out that Genosha is really Krakoa since they started making those references, and that the mutants that are there will actually come back to life, and then they'll take Gambit there, and then that's how they get Gambit back. That's my crazy theory that I just made up right on the fly.
There you go. They're coming back. It's gonna be the unsnapping.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Eminem version. Look who's back again.
Who's back? Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? So that is it from us this week, guys. Tune in tomorrow where Graveyard and I are going to be interviewing the great and powerful Brian Volkweiss. And having a good time with that. So until next time, as always, guys, keep nerding together. We will see you guys next week for episode 8. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great night.
Bye.